you gonna say, bro?
Well, no, I was gonna go into those 10 horns.
10 horns, yeah.
Wherever I put that, so bad you break it down. Oh, that ain't it.
But those 10 horns going into Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, Greece, Italy, Ireland. You had Denmark, Spain, France. I don't know how many I just named, but
Yeah, here we go.
yeah, he got it right there. See, these are the 10 horns. So
It should be on there. Yeah. There you go.
right there. So I was saying Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain and Portugal, you know, England and Ireland, and then they got West Germany.
Yeah. Con.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, so all of these systems are set up, okay, to destroy you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, these are the quote-unquote kingdoms that are gonna war against Yahushua and the angels. You know, and against the saints of the Lord. You know, because we're only footmen of the army. You know what I mean? You know how Esau has his army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines? Well, we would be the army, boots on the ground, you know, for the air army, you know, the chariots of Yahushua, you know what I mean? And then the sea army being the creatures, whatever, you know what I mean? Just to fill in the gaps, metaphorically speaking. But yeah, hey, these are the kingdoms in which are going to be taken down by Yahweh Yahushua.
And man, what was I going to say? For No Class Malone, you see how what I just read, he say, you know, it's ridiculous that the Bible can go from being literal to being figurative, you know, or from something actually happening to something spiritually happening.
Right.
Well, the scripture I just read, it went from ancient Rome to modern day Rome.
Yep.
Because all those 10 horns are here last. Now, they was back then, but they wasn't called that.
Right.
You go back to the European Economic Community, you talking about the Visigoths, the Ostrogoths, the Burgundians, you had the Vandals, all them, so forth and so on. The Franks. But see, nowadays it's, you know, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Greece, Germany, all that. That's talking about in these last days. So I'm gonna read that again. So, you know, if you're not spiritual, put the scriptures down.
Right.
Put the Bible down, man. Because you have to read this with spirituality. Y'all used to what Esau giving you that good old time religion, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you know, see, our people simple though. Our people are simple. Esau gave you this on the left-hand side, minus his spirituality.
Right.
Because he will use this as a tool to give you religion to keep you in line, keep you in order. Now the Most High in the last days raised up his servants, the prophets, to bring the spirituality back to this book. So that y'all can get the truth, but y'all don't want the truth.
Right.
Y'all want to be simple niggas running through the streets with neon, you know, glowing cars, neon rims and shit, playing goddamn Lil Flip and David Banner.
like it's 1990.
Yeah, like we in the 90s and shit, man.
It's crazy.
I gotta get back to that because, right, no class, the scriptures jump around, man. If you don't have the spirituality to understand that, leave the Bible alone because you're going to end up confused, bugged out,
Right.
and end up slitting your wrist.
Yep, God, bro.
What else you got?
Read that again. Huh?
Okay, good.
This is because in verse 19 it was talking about ancient Rome.
Right.
It talked about stamping. That was when Rome came into power, that fourth beast. Who's I'm gonna read it again. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others. Which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet.
Right.
So that means they brought all into subjection.
Yeah.
The Roman Empire brought all into subjection with is military might, man. And no military ever been seen like that at that point, man. Up to that point. With the brutality, the training, I think Ariella had went into that. The training that they would undergo, like Ariella was talking about, they would just, all day long practice, man.
Yeah.
You might just practice swinging the sword, man.
Yep.
Half the day. Rest of the day, their mindset was in constant training.
Right.
But then they had generals like Caesar,
Yep.
who the Heavenly Father put the Spirit on.
Yep.
The Most High was dealing with them.
Yep.
He put the Spirit on guys like Caesar to be military geniuses, strategists.
Yep.
And you couldn't, you wasn't gonna overcome it at that time. That's 19. That's ancient Rome. But now when you go to 20,
Right.
and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, because what's the other that came up? Right. You got to know what's the others that came up to know now you coming into these modern days. Because those others was Spain, France, and Britain. Those were the others that came up. So now you coming into modern times.
Right.
So look how now we just jumped time zones. We went from BC, now we in AD.
Right.
Or BCE, before Common Era, whatever you want to call it, to AD. So again, it said verse 20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, that other, Salaki, that other is America. So that's how you know we're talking about modern times.
Yeah.
That other is America, that other which came up. I got a little ahead of myself. It says, before whom 3 fell. Now the 3 that fell, that's talking about Spain, France, and Britain. Because when America was being established, you had colonies established over here.
Right.
Spain, France, and Britain.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, even if you look at how America was quote unquote developed, what 3 countries came over here? Those same 3.
Before your Declaration of Independence and before your Constitution,
Right.
U.S. Constitution. Right.
Right.
You had other Edomites. They was Edomites too.
Yep.
But you had a certain sect of Edomites, the lowest of the low, because they was the refuge that King George, the Israelite, basically had kicked out of Europe.
Right.
But they was to be established, they basically was to farm the land, mine the land, maybe, and King George was going to tax them.
Right.
And he established colonies. Even King James had a colony with that Virginia. I believe it was in Virginia, Jamestown. Jamestown was I said colony, but they was companies. They called them companies back then. But Esau came in being the devil that he is, reworded everything, and now y'all think y'all free, but y'all still companies.
Right. Yeah.
But the term nowadays is corporation.
Yep. Exactly.
But right, America was established as companies.
Yep.
Jamestown was a company. And what was King James doing? He was taxing these Edomites and they was nothing but criminals, faggots, pedophiles, that King James, King George, kicked out of Europe and brought over here.
Done.
And then they got tired of being taxed by the Heavenly Father again. He had his hand in that.
Yep.
But they got tired of being taxed by the black man.
Yeah.
And so they came up and revolted.
Done.
But yeah, you had Spain, Britain, and France already over here.
Yep.
So yeah, bro.
Yeah. They were the ones that were commissioned, correct? To come over here. From Britain, the Queen.
The Queen, yeah, she gave permission to the Queen of Spain.
So
yeah, Spain gave permission to shit. Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, Cristobal.
Crystal, yeah.
Yeah.
Come over here, right. Yeah, come.
So yeah.
Fulfill prophecy, right.
Come. So even those, what was that last verse you read where the 3 fell off?
The three was uprooted. I'm gonna read it again.
Come.
This is Daniel, chapter 7, verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell,
Right.
even that horn had eyes and a mouth and spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason why the British, the French, the French and the Spanish now are the ones that are didn't they just have a they just fell out from that whole Brexit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I just heard Greg Hunter was bringing out that through Nigel Farage, which Nigel Farage, he's on the parliament. He's on British parliament, one of the parliament members. He's saying that the EU is trying to draw them back in.
Right.
So he say Brexit might come to an end because they, you know, they trying to draw them back in. But hey, that's gonna fulfill prophecy.
I actually wanted to jump down to verse 26 after what we had read in James 7:25. Unless you got some more on that,
Let me see. It might be a little more.
Well, yeah. Verse 21, yeah.
Because I got to read some more.
Yep, let's read it.
So yeah, like we said, that one horn whose look was more stout than his fellows is America. Because America came up, you know, by uprooting those 3 horns, Spain, France, and Britain.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they had to go. That was the American Revolution was about.
Right.
Then you had the American and the Spanish-American War.
Right.
And you had these different wars was all a part of America coming up and being established.
Yep.
So that's known history.
Yeah, con.
That's known history. Verse 21.
And
Yeah.
real quick, that's that daughter of Babylon as well. You know, so yeah, I mean, just another prophecy that was going to be fulfilled. You know, because I think Apostle Tahar went into how America's in the Bible, man. You know, so that's that horn that was being talked about. That daughter of Babylon. You know, we talked about how Rome in itself is essentially a copy. So like America is a copy of Rome, but America is also a copy of ancient Babylon, which is the daughter of Babylon. Okay.
Well, I said it had froze, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It looks like it's rolling now.
Yeah.
This is verse 21, Daniel 7, verse 21.
That's right.
I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints,
Right.
and prevailed against them. That's why we in captivity here in America.
Right.
You know, Jake spread out, of course, but the main captivity is right here in America.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. That's where we were brought over here from all of those captivities. You know, from the initial one from the Babylonians and the Assyrians from 722-24 BC. You know, to the captivity of who was it in 586?
586, you talking about
The exile,
the Medes
the Medes and Persians, okay, to the dispersion, 70 AD, okay, from the Romans, you know. So we were scattered from that region, okay, the quote unquote Middle East, the Fertile Crescent, okay, up, down through Spain, and some migrated east, you know, towards Asia, you know, through Russia, down through India, okay, but a great majority came through that top part up to the northern and western part of Africa, you know, and then from that, what you want to call migration, even though it wasn't a migration, we call that a migration?
As far as what?
Being scattered from the exile of 70 AD.
Say migration.
Okay.
Because they migrated, all right.
But then,
No.
but then being captured and brought over here to America. So that was the point being made, is that this is where Esau, the so-called white man, America, is fighting against the saints of Yahweh Shemel Shah.
I wish you had spoke on that, earlier.
Done.
But he at war. Well, he's hunting us.
Right,
you know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
right.
Every day.
Yeah, exactly. So, we had talked about this last week. We're behind enemy lines.
Right.
So, we're unarmed. Like spiritually we're armed with this truth.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's our only weapon. You know what I mean? That's our greatest defense. That's our greatest offense.
That's right. Hey, this is verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
Right, yeah. So going to show you, man, the Ancient of Days is talking about Yahweh Shai. Well, is that Yahweh
Most
Shai?
High.
The Most High Yahweh, Salakia.
Yeah. But he gonna do it through Yahweh Shai.
Done.
Like we just bringing that.
Yep.
He not coming down here himself.
Right. Done.
He got his only begotten son.
Right.
To kick ass.
Yeah. Like back in ancient times, in the Ancient of Days, yeah, Yahweh came down. He's like, all right, look, I'm gonna show y'all what time it is. But like now, I realize y'all niggas ain't shit. They should have never gave you niggas money. You know what I mean? But hey, the whole point is, hey, Yahweh Shai is now the representation of Yahweh globally, worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's who's gonna be coming down here. That's who you're gonna have to deal with, man. All power was given unto him. Okay? Now Yahweh's gonna look back and say, all right, well, shit, just like any quote unquote mafia, went in there word mafia. Hey, any type of quote unquote boss, man, you ain't gonna see him. You gonna hear about him.
Yeah.
You gonna see all his henchmen. You gonna see all things being performed, and it's gonna be by his name. Isn't that important?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like when Michael Corleone took over.
Yep.
For his father.
Yep.
He got that same respect because
That's right.
he came under his father's name.
Boom.
And his father's with the foundation that he laid already.
Because his father's name had already had what?
It had-
Credibility.
It held weight. That's
Yep,
right.
that's right. So yeah, just like when we come in our Father's name, it holds weight. Hey, that's beautiful, man. Because we ain't coming underneath any other banner or any other name that any of these heathens or the so-called white man is set up. Okay? That's
right.
it.
That's right, brother. Something that you want some more?
Well, I wanted to get to 2026, but I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna read on.
go ahead.
Verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms,
Right.
and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break in pieces.
So now it went back from being BC to AD to now BC again.
Yeah,
Because that's talking about who? The Roman Empire, right?
that can go interchangeably, but yeah,
Yeah, God.
because we are, it's one kingdom,
Right.
but at certain times you have to know how to specify.
Yeah.
Because the Rome back then is Rome today.
God.
I mean, what's the difference? Because they still stamping the residue. They still the whole 9 yards.
That's right.
But yeah, like I say, it can go for ancient Rome. It can go for modern day Rome. Because they both coming in the same spirit.
God.
You understand? And they say it was diverse. How was it diverse? It was diverse because they didn't set up a monarchy. They didn't have a king or a kingdom. They set up a senate.
Right.
And democracy. Back then you had the patrons and the plebeians, the patricians and the plebeians. Nowadays you have the Republicans and the Democrats.
Right.
Same shit.
Right. Yeah.
Same shit. Your patricians will be your Republicans nowadays, and your plebeians are your Democrats.
Right.
Come,
Yeah, I forgot.
same shit.
I forgot.